Well, good morning. As you may know, we're about to start a very new chapter in children's ministry. Our elementary schoolers are going to start next week in a program, a style of learning, really an approach to Christian education called Godly Play. And you all have done a lot of supporting us in this already. And one thing we've already done is shared together in one story from Godly Play. But today I thought that I would bring another. And that is what a sermon is, isn't it? It's bringing a story, a sacred story that is given to us all. And it is reflecting on it together. So that's what we're going to do today. A little bit different than usual. But I want to invite you in as you are. I am not asking you to pretend to be a child today, unless you are one, in which case that is who you are. And please bring yourself. But bring yourself as you are with all that you come into this worship space, being, thinking about, carrying, and let's bring that to this sacred story together. So, this is a story. And I wonder inside if it might be a parable. I wonder if there is a parable inside here because, well, it's gold, and gold is very valuable, and a parable is very valuable. And parables are old, and it looks a little bit old. So I wonder if perhaps there is a parable inside. And did you know that a parable has been given to you long ago? And it sort of looks like a gift. So perhaps there is a parable inside. But notice, this story has a lid on it, kind of like a door. And it's a lid that keeps you out. And sometimes parables are like that. They are hard to get into. Even if you're ready, they are hard to get into. But don't be discouraged, that's okay, because you just keep coming back, and eventually it will open. So I have an idea. Let's look inside and see what there might be for us. I wonder what this might be, what it might really be. It's white. It's white all over. But what in our parable might this really be? Maybe it's a snowball, but it would be cold. Or maybe it's the moon. I wonder. Let's see if there's anything else in our box to help us get ready. There is this, and it is brown. Let's see if we do this. Yes, that might help. And there are more. Perhaps they go together in some way. I see. That is helping. I wonder what else is in our box to help us. Oh, okay. Let's see. There's this box as well. All right. Well, that is all that is there to help us get ready. So all that's left to do is to begin. There once was a man who did such amazing things and said such wonderful things that people began to follow him. And as they followed him, they heard him speak about a kingdom. But this kingdom was not like the kingdom that they lived in. It was not like a kingdom that they had experienced. And it was not like any kingdom they had even heard of. And so they had to ask him, what is the kingdom of heaven like? And one time when they asked, he told them, the kingdom of heaven is like when a buyer and seller of pearls, a merchant, went in search of the great pearl. No. 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 Yes. And when he found the great pearl, he went and exchanged everything he had for the great pearl. I wonder if the person is happy with the great pearl. And I wonder what the merchant will do next. I wonder, why would the seller exchange something so precious as the great pearl? And I wonder if the seller is happy with all of his new possessions. Oh, and I wonder if the seller has a name. So I wonder if the merchant has a name. Does the merchant have a name? And does the seller have a name? I wonder, because I thought that the merchant was supposed to have my name. And I was supposed to be the merchant looking for the pearl. But sometimes I am not the best at looking for the pearl. And so maybe it is the seller who has my name. Maybe that is the seller's name. But Jesus said that the kingdom of heaven is like when a merchant goes looking for the great pearl. And so perhaps the merchant's name is the kingdom. And so then who would I be? Perhaps I am actually the pearl, and the pearl has my name. And that's a thought, because perhaps the kingdom knows what is valuable when it sees it. And that would mean that I am valuable. That when I was sitting here, just being myself exactly as I am, the kingdom came along and said, "You are of the greatest value." And isn't that a truth that I need to remember? Because I can remember that you are valuable, and you are valuable, and you are valuable, maybe even better than I can remember that I am valuable. But maybe the pearl has my name, or your name. I want to invite you into a time of reflection and of wonder. And if you're in this space, physically present, would you grab your bulletin and perhaps grab a writing instrument, pen in front of you in the pew or from a bag that you brought with you? There might be a child in the pew with you who has a crayon they'd be willing to share. And if you're worshiping with us online, we want you to be part of this as well, of course. So if you would grab just a piece of paper and something to write with. And you can open it one page past our worship guide. Of course, if you're online, also the digital worship guide will have this in it that you can reference. But we're going to have several times of reflection today on the story we have shared. So I'd like to give you an opportunity to write or draw your response to this Reflection 1A that says this: the kingdom of heaven is like. I wonder, what is the kingdom of heaven like? Take some time to respond. And as you're ready, you might look on the next page where you'll see several different pearls. And it says, I wonder what the great pearl could really be. So I invite you to write or to draw inside these different pearls here what you value in your own life. In a moment, we're going to make pearls together. You'll find that on the ends of your pews or in front of you, there is a little container like this that has clay in it. Very soft, air-dry clay. And I'm going to invite you to find that closest container, open it up, and take a bit of clay. Doesn't need to be a tiny amount. And we have some extras at the front. If we need to pass those around, deacons are available to help. And if you're at home or watching from afar, I'm going to invite you to join us in the movement and the meditation of this, even if you have to imagine your ball of clay. But as you get clay, go ahead and start rolling. Notice how it warms with the heat of your hands. And let the heat of your hands infuse the clay as your meditation flows through your mind. Maybe imagine that meditation and those thoughts going into the clay. Because in a moment, as we hear our hymn play, we're going to start thinking, I wonder what is so precious that a person would give up everything they have to get it. I wonder what is so precious that a person would give up everything they have for it. Let's ponder that as we roll a pearl and meditate. In a moment, we're going to sing together, Be Thou My Vision, that same hymn. And this is the invitation for today, that if your pearl is one that you need to exchange and lay down, there's a basket here and there's a basket here. And you're invited as we sing to come and lay your pearl down and exchange it. But if your pearl is one that you need to value and take home, you're also invited to do that. This is air-dry clay, and it will harden and serve as a reminder of all that you have meditated on this morning. So would you join me in singing and in our invitation to come or to keep? Well, as you go today, you will find that there are some wipes on your way out and in the Welcome Center, because I know we've got a little bit of clay in our hands. But hey, maybe this is a good reminder to walk through this day with a little bit of clay on our hands as we remember our story that we have shared. So take this blessing with you as you go. May you be seekers of the great pearl, and may the kingdom always be seeking you. Go in peace to love and serve the Lord.